Hello ladies and gentlemen, you got the Enforcer 250. This is my X-Force. This is the 400 HD-B, which is a 4-pill straight high drive, original Toshiba's. And this is going to be the final video. I made two prior to this. And upon inspecting the internal workings, in particular the bridge rectifiers, I decided to swap those out, and these are them right here. And you're like, why would I do that? They each rated, I thought they were 35 amps a piece, or actually 50 amps a piece. But if you can see, there's just a lot of wiring involved, and there was just too much loss. So what I did, I picked up a custom 200 amp bridge rectifier. And as you can see, it's on a massive heatsink. Let me see if I can get that view from the side. I mean, the heatsink is just massive. And if you notice, I didn't use any screws to bolt them down. I actually have a special adhesive compound, epoxy / heatsink compound combined. So it actually combines the bridge rectifier to the heatsink, okay? That was something that I did. And if you notice, on the sides I used a high quality silicone glue to keep this in place, this massive heatsink. And the capacitor I left, it was more than adequate. And you could see the cooling fan. That was the additional cooling that I said I was going to do. And the Toshiba's, as you can see, that was the main cooling fan, which is going to blow on this 120 amp power transformer. This is that one solid massive brick rectifier. As you can see, you got the secondary caps, 1, 2. The secondary, the primary outputs, which are here. All right. Then that goes into each one of these lugs. Then the output of that, which is your plus and minus, go right to the filter cap, which in turn, those two cables go right to the board, okay? So, as you can see, this heatsink is just massive. And this bridge rectifier cost me about 30 bucks, free shipping. Heatsink, I got a deal on it, it was 20 bucks, as you can see those fins. And the fan was about 5 bucks, so you figure $55 for a modification that I did myself. If I would have had it done by an amp builder, it would have probably cost me at least 200 bucks for this type of modification or upgrade. So as you can see, it definitely pays off. And that heatsink that I picked up is massive, man, for that. And you can see it fits just perfectly between the main power transformer. As you can see, the space. You see, look, I even got space in the front and space on the electrolytic cap, which is more than adequate. I said in my last video I was going to change them out, but this one seems like it's more than adequate, so I'm not going to add an additional cap, like I said in my previous video. So there you go. That's my upgrade, and this thing is a beast. And if you don't think it works, let me kill this light and power this thing up. See, you could probably hear the fan. You could probably hear that fan. All right, let me kill it. Kill the power, and this thing is a beast, like I said. And it definitely pays to do the additional upgrades. And in this particular case, being the modification to the power supply, I like to eliminate any weak links. So basically the transformer is one link, and that's solid, that's 120 amps. I upgraded these little bridge rectifiers that was on a massive heatsink. Well, I wouldn't say massive, but a nice heatsink. But when you see all these wires, right, you look at all these wires, that's just too many wires. You got potential for voltage drop. And then if any one of these individual bridge rectifiers go on you, now you have a major problem. They start to cascade and they all fail. So you got one solid unit, all right, with this one brick rectifier, which is rated at 200 amps. At it was about 1600 volts. And, you know, you gotta love it. So there's basically no more weak links. Transformer, rectifier, electrolytic cap, right to the board itself. And with the additional cooling fan, this is going to give me a much more stable output, probably more headroom. There's going to be less voltage drop because with this heavy duty 200 amp rectifier. And this is plenty of storage capacity. It's 56,000 microfarads at 35 volts. And with the additional cooling fan right there, this thing is it's going to be a killer, you know. Not that it isn't already, but like I said, with this massive heatsink, it's just awesome. I don't know if you can see the fins. Just look at that. Let's look at the size of this thing. Yeah, that's the transformer. This thing is just unreal. Alright, that concludes this video for the X-Force. And this is the 400 HD-B. And I just wanted to make this last video, so you're saying, okay, if he would have just added a fan, anyone could have did that, because I got a comment from someone out there. Yeah, anyone could put a fan in. Yeah, that's true. It's not that difficult. But, you know, upgrading the power supply is a little more tasking. I'm not saying impossible. I'm not saying no one could do it. It's just, you know, a lot more work involved. But it definitely pays off. And you can see I use heat shrink right there, where the output of the primaries. All right, everything is nice, nice 8-gauge crimped wire. I got a crimping tool. I got lugs that are crimpable, so I don't have to solder anything there. And it's a beautiful thing, man. Look at that. Lord have mercy, huh? You just gotta love it. All right, that concludes my last video of my upgrade to my X-Force 400 HD-B. Until next time, you got the Enforcer 250 somewhere on the lower deck. And I just got down.